Bible specifically says that if your child is unruly, if your son is disobedient and disrespectful to the parents, that you are to bring him before the town and say, this child is drunk and lazy and disrespectful, and then you stone him to death. Why don't you follow that part of the Bible?
Do you have any examples in the Bible of that happening?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, sure. Let me pull it up right now. I'll just Google it. Deuteronomy 21:18. If a man has a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they are chastened to him, he will not hearken unto them, his father and his mother shall lay hold on him, bring him out to the elders of the city, and upon the gate of the place, and they shall say unto the elders of the city, this is our son, he is stubborn and rebellious, he will not obey our voice, he is a glutton and a drunkard, and all the men of the city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shall you put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear.
Let me go ahead and get one opposition out the way right now. Some people are going to come on to this video and they're going to comment that the man asked, when did that happen? Not when did God give the order or the commands or give the commandments of it all. When did that happen? Now, his original question was, do you still follow this? Why don't you follow this command? Because the people during that time frame followed that command. Just because the Bible doesn't say, and then a man brought his son who had cursed him, and the town stoned him. Your Bible, your God, authorized the killing of children if they were discovered to be a drunkard or unruly or stubborn towards their parents. Most certainly, the people of that era followed this command because it was given by your God. And the fact that your God, who you call a good God, would give such a command in itself shows that this is not a good God. And is that the only time he says something like that? No. In Exodus 21, he says that if a child curses the mother and the father, that child must die. If a child strikes a mother or a father, that child must die. Exodus 21 again. In Leviticus, it says that if a man marries a woman and then finds hatred for her, and claims that she's not a virgin, then if the elders discover that she wasn't a virgin, she is to be stoned and killed. Now, if the man is found to be lying, then he's just whipped. It's another shows the inequity of the Bible towards women. But there are multiple passages, at least about 24, 25 passages in the Bible, where it talks about killing your children if they are unruly, if they curse the mother or father, all these different things. It talks about killing your own children. The fact that those laws were given is enough to show that your God is not a just God, your God is not a good God. That these are commandments and rituals that men of that day put in place in order for them to run their society based on their culture. Now, our culture and our society has grown since then. Our morality has increased since then. And since it have, we know that these are immoral things. The problem is that people are trying to justify this within their Bible. You see, they are going to go to, I believe it's in Matthew, where the Sadducees or Pharisees came to Jesus and said, why don't your disciples follow the commandments? Who are they that they don't follow the commandments? And Jesus gives them a whole good swerve about them following the Father and all this kind of stuff. But the fact is, the morality is what changed that was changing at that time frame. And that's what your Jesus was talking about. Changing the morality. Because even at their time frame, they realized that this God had given evil commandments, that it was outside of their culture, that wasn't the Roman way. So they didn't do it, and it was being changed. But your God is supposed to be forever, unchangeable, that his commandments are his commandments. And did not your Jesus say to love the Father and keep his commandments? Did he not tell the rich young ruler, do you keep all the commandments? And the rich young ruler said, I keep the commandments. And he told him to give up his finances and follow him, and he couldn't do it. But he was fine with him keeping the commandments. That is your Bible. That is your God. And you choose to follow that. But you don't. You don't. Because you know you would go to jail. You go to prison if you were to treat your children like that. So always remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.